Hello, my name is Laura Gallagher. I work here at Royal Botanic Garden Edinburgh, based at the Botanic Cottage where our Community Engagement Prgramme is. We host many different types of community groups here doing many different types of activities around our growing plots. Today I wanted to show you a little bit about growing your own edible crops at home, either in your kitchen, at your windowsill, in containers like this, or out on your patio or your steps in pots like this. If you've only got a small amount of space, you can have a single pot with a single plant, or you can have a slightly larger pot with one or two other plants that can grow side by side comfortably in that pot. What you do have to be careful of when you're looking at any pot or container for your vegetables is the drainage. If you're buying one from the garden centre, they will have holes in them like that. If you're making your own pot out of anything at home, they won't have holes in the bottom necessarily. So you have to create some holes yourself. You can use things like toilet roll tubes to do your seed sowing if you're growing your plants from seed. And then you can use juice cartons like this and recycle. These are waterproof, so they're lined on the inside. The other boxes you can get are special growing trays like this. This is called a propagation unit. Now you can see in here what I've actually used is these lovely recycled paper pots that you can buy. You can pop them in here with your seeds or your potted up seedling plants, and then you can use, if you don't have very much sun, a wee cover like this, or you can cover them with some sort of plastic bag using a cane in each corner. You can buy plug plants from the garden centre. These are already ventilated, so you don't need to do anything to them. And then you buy a box like this. These sit just inside it, but again you can see that these don't have any drainage in the bottom, so you need to put containers with holes there for your plants. This one didn't have drainage, so what I've done is I've added egg boxes in the bottom, and then you could plant the whole trough up with plants rather than using pots. Some people might be tempted to use a tray like this. Anything that's metal or a black pot, they're going to get very hot if they're on a sunny windowsill, and they could overheat your plants. So I'm going to show you a very simple trough to plant up. I'm going to be using some herbs rather than vegetables, and then I've partially started to fill the pot. So I take one of our plants and you just pop that at the side. I make a hole with my hand, and then I use my little scoop, backfill. If it's too low in your trough, it will rot. If it's too high, the roots might dry out. It's a good idea to water your plants the night before you plant them and make sure that they're nice and damp. I'm using a nice multi-purpose organic compost. Just remember to firm your plant slightly as you plant it. So we have chives, some oregano and some lemon balm in this trough. You want to make sure the edges are topped up, and then a slight tap settles any air bubbles that might be left in the pot. It's very important that you water your plants in when you've planted them. I find it's very good to mark on a clear jug exactly how much water. If you can't remember how much water you want to use for watering every week, this is a good way of doing it, and you can colour the water with a little bit of turmeric so that you can see it more clearly in the jug. You can also mark up a calendar, and this will remind you when you need to water. You can also use these very handy little funnels, and that makes it a lot easier to get the water down and straight into the pot so that you don't get all the water on top of the leaves of your plants. Thank you very much for watching today, and you'll be able to get a few more details and hints and tips via our website.